Welcome back to the conference proceedings. The first item of the second half of the conference is the workshop by RESC. Let me invite the team of RESC to conduct their workshop.
Hello, everyone. Enhancing speaking skills is one of the most successful workshops done by RESC in 2022. There we focused on developing speaking skills of the secondary language learners. With regard to English language learning in Sri Lanka, speaking can be considered as the most neglected area. I'm telling so due to several reasons, like it is not tested at national level exams, and there's less exposure to spontaneous use of language, fear of mistake, low motivation, less practice, shyness of the students to speak a second language, and there are some others too. By delivering this workshop, we tried our level best to reduce the gravity of some of such problems and to promote an English-speaking culture in schools. This is the content of our workshop. It includes an introduction, the objectives of the workshop, and things to consider when carrying out speaking activities in classes, some of the activities and the procedures of them, and the reflection. So this content has been shared among the 4 members of RESC, Mrs. Mithila Veerasinghe, Mrs. Anuradha Pradhanage, Mr. Priyankara Nugaliyatha, and myself. This workshop empowers teachers to foster English-speaking skills of students to create an English-speaking culture in schools. For that, we have included some theoretical factors and practical component both in this workshop. All these are coextensive with the academic curriculum. Here you see the objectives of the workshop. First, and the main objective is to develop speaking skills of the students. As I mentioned before, there are many problems related to this area, and we tried to minimize the effects of them. Also, we focused on enhancing natural use of language in a stress-free environment. Although students involved in several speaking activities, when it comes to authentic situations, majority of them fails to manipulate the language well. In the classroom also, they are reluctant to speak in English due to fear of mistake and on-the-spot correction done by the teachers in most of the time. When we delivering this workshop, we emphasized those problems and we made the teachers aware to create a stress-free environment in the class. We instructed them to monitor the students during their involvement of activities and notice the common mistakes done by them and correct them during the feedback at the end of each activity. And the next objective is enhancing academic curriculum and assess learning by doing. We instructed teachers to conduct these activities on the LA program on every English-only day, or at least once a week. But all these activities can be done in the classroom lessons too. Most of them are suitable for oral production of lessons in the ELT classrooms. Another important objective is to enhance the reflective learning culture in the school. Although a lot of activities are done with the students, teachers pay less attention on reflection. During our session, we emphasize to reflect on the teacher's work and students' work both, because it gives a more positive influence on developing speaking skills. Finally, we expect to develop problem solving, reasoning, critical thinking, creative thinking, communication, collaborative abilities, the leadership qualities, and the technological skills of the students, which belongs to 21st century language skills. If we think about a successful speaking activity, there are some things to consider. Usually we assign a task for the students and give a short time for them to prepare. A research done by Peter Skihan on TBL, or task-based learning, shows that giving students preparation time significantly increases the range of language used in the performance of the task, whereas the accuracy of the language is not as influenced. If this is so, then it seems sensible to give students preparation time when encouraging them to use the language. Imagine that you have been working on the language that could be useful for having a conversation with a stranger on train schedule. You have now reached the stage where you wish the students to perform the task. Rather than just give students 10 minutes to prepare and rehearse the task, give students a guided preparation time. So that can be like this. Here you can see an example for guided preparation task. There we can ask some of the questions from the students. So when they answer these type of questions with the peers, they can organize the particular speaking activity well. As an example, how will you start the conversation? What topics are you going to talk about? How are you going to move from one topic to another? How are you going to end the conversation? After preparation stage, students give a live performance. This can be in front of the class or group to group in a large class. This increases motivation and add element of real life stress, because English is a stress-timed language. So if we look at the types of speaking activities, we can categorize them into two main groups as controlled and freer activities. In controlled activities, the teacher knows what the students will say. And also, in controlled speaking activities, you want the learners to be accurate in English. There we focus much on accuracy. But in freer speaking activities, the learners are free to say what they want. So it is more important that the learners are fluent. There we focus much on fluency. They may make mistakes, but the important thing is that they speak more confidently without too many pauses. Mistakes can be corrected later during the feedback. Although we do several speaking activities with the students, all of the activities cannot be considered as meaningful activities. If it is meaningful, that gives a good reason for talking. If we ask questions that we already know the answers, they are not meaningful speaking activities. But if we tell a partner or a student to talk about the first day at school, that can be considered as a meaningful activity because there he or she doesn't know what he or she is going to tell. Therefore, we emphasized the teachers to select meaningful speaking activities and conduct them in the classes. So also we asked them to start with controlled activities first, because they give language that need to practice. Thereafter, they can switch on to less controlled activities or freer activities, where the learners can think for themselves and remember the new language. Thereafter, we used a set of activities and we categorized those activities under 5 headings, such as picture description, sharing information, storytelling, giving instructions and explain, and pronunciation practice. And here you can see the set of picture description activities we used as running picture dictation, drawing your monster, guess my picture, guess the place. So no worries, there will be a detailed explanation of these activities a little later. It will be done by 2 other colleagues. And these are some of the activities we selected for sharing information. There you can see some students are doing that ladder chat activity, because after this workshop, we went to schools and monitor how they work the plan, how the teachers work the plan. There we ask the teachers to select a set of students as models and conduct some of the activities, because we needed to get a feedback. Also, we helped them where necessary to overcome the practical issues. And these are some of the activities we selected under storytelling. And you can see the picture of a student, and they are involving in jigsaw story activity. So they are rearranging the pictures of the story by rearranging the cut-ups. And under giving instructions and explain, we used this set of activities. Maybe all of them or most of them are familiar to you. And these are the activities we used for pronunciation practice. After introducing activities, we got the teachers to prepare a work plan. This can be done for a term or for a period of 6 months. It depends on the number of activities that the teachers select. If they make a term plan, they can repeat it in the next terms too. And also they can increase the complexity of the activities. And on the other hand, this supports the teachers and the students both to revisit the language components that they practice during the activities. So there are teachers prepare the work plan for a term, and we ask them to repeat the same plan in the next terms too, because it is useful for them to maintain the uniformity in the sections too. Thereafter, we demonstrated some of the activities for the teachers to have a better idea and to get a first-hand experience.
Before presenting the activities, let's look at the characteristics of speaking activities according to Underhill 1987. There are 4 characteristics. Number 1 is students talk a lot. It means that each student is allowed to speak. It also says that the teacher should make the students active. The second characteristic is participation is even. It means that no one dominates in the activity and all get a chance to speak. The third one is motivation is high. Here, students are interested in the activity, so they are eager to speak. The last characteristic is language is of an acceptable level. The utterances made by students are relevant and they can be easily understood by the others. When the teacher is using the instructions, the teacher should look at the instructions also. The instructions given by the teacher should be clear and simple. If the instructions are long, the teacher can break the instructions into steps. Let's look at the activities we have today. The activity is picture description. Under this, we are going to present 4 activities. Number 1, guess my picture. Number 2, guess the place. Third one, run in picture dictation. And the last one is monster. Now, guess my picture. First, the teacher shows a picture and asks the students to describe it using there is and there are. And next, the teacher again makes use of another picture of a beach, but that picture is not shown. Now the teacher elicits what the students guess that they can see on the beach. And here, the teacher can familiarize the vocabulary that they are going to use in the activity. And the teacher can group the students based on the number of students in the classroom. Next, the teacher can ask students to guess the things in that picture and give a sentence using there is and there are. And the teacher allows one student from each group at a time to present the sentence. Then the teacher looks at the picture and sees whether the sentences are right or wrong according to the picture with the teacher. If the sentence is correct, 10 points are given for that group. The teacher can continue with the other students. And finally, the teacher can select the winners. Reflection. When you think about the activity, we can say that it arouses the curiosity of the students. And it is also competitive because it is a language game. And it is interesting. And the students like the activities in which they can enjoy. And we can see individual student participation in the activity. And also we can see high level of motivation because the students should tell something and get points for their group. And it is a controlled activity. Finally, we can say that it is simple for our students. A step forward. If you want to make the activity more challenging, you can introduce present continuous tense also to make that activity a challenging one. A second activity, guess the place. The teacher can group the students and each group is given a word card of a place like fair, wedding hall, school, carnival, or beach. But the teacher can make it more interesting by giving them pictures instead of the word cards like this. Then the teacher can ask each group to get ready to describe their picture without giving the direct clues at first. Because if they give the direct clues, the others will understand the place very easily. Next, each student in the group will get a chance to describe the picture they have. When one group is describing the picture, the students of the other groups listen and try to guess the place. If someone can guess the place, he or she raises the hand and gives the answer. If the answer is correct, 10 points are given to that group. The teacher can continue with the other groups. Finally, the best group is selected. Reflection. Once again, if you think about the activity, we can realize that it encourages imagination of the students. It also helps improve both listening and speaking. And if you look at the activity, you can see the cooperation and the collaboration of the students, because they do a lot of activity with the other students. The next activity is running picture dictation. First, teacher groups the students and shows the picture to the students. It is a picture of a hungry caterpillar, and all the dates are given here from Sunday to Saturday. The teacher elicits the names of it and the numbers of days. The teacher can ask how the caterpillar is, and the teacher is supposed to get the answer hungry. It's a hungry caterpillar. The teacher can tell the students that the caterpillar wants to eat something each day because it is very hungry. Each group is given picture cards of the food items the caterpillar eats. Then the teacher elicits food items given to them. Thereby, the teacher can familiarize the vocabulary that they are going to use in the next step. The teacher asks students to select a runner for each group who runs to a picture and find out what the caterpillar eats each day and reports to the group. Paste this picture, same picture, with the food items on each day in a distant place as the students cannot see it. Now the runner runs to the picture and finds what the caterpillar eats each day and report it to the group. The caterpillar eats a leaf on Monday, and this is the structure they are going to use. Other members find the food item from the given pictures and fix it on the day of their picture. Then only the runner can run to the picture again. The teacher can continue like this. And teacher asks the groups to say bingo when they finish doing their task. Finally, the teacher can select the group which has done it correctly. Reflection. The activity is competitive, and we can see a high student involvement and also active participation is there. It is simple, and you can see cooperation. Last one, monster. Teacher groups the students, then elicit what the given picture is. The answer is monster. Then the teacher provides each group a demi paper and platinum pens. Next step is this. The teacher asks students to draw their own monster and to get ready to describe their monster. At the end, each student in the group should describe their monster. Reflection. It is creative because all the students support when they draw the picture. Then they can come up with different ideas to create the monster. And you can see cooperation, collaboration, and individual participation is very high. And it is a free activity. Now, the success of the program, and after introducing these activities to the students, we monitored certain schools and we saw the students engaged in the activities very enthusiastically. And the teachers also did these activities very successfully.
The first one is jigsaw stories. Next one, story completion, picture narrating, true-false storytelling, and what happens next. So in the teacher's workshop, we have given all the procedures of doing these activities, and let's see how they are done. The first one is jigsaw story. Jigsaw activities are a specific type of information gap activity which can be used for a whole class. The class is divided into a group of 4 to 6 learners. Each group is given a separate story and asks the learners to read and understand the story thoroughly and to be an expert. Then the class is reorganized into different groups of 4 to 6, which are called jigsaw groups, so that each learner in the new group is from a different expert group and they share the story with the new group. And let's move on to the next activity. That's a story completion. This is a very enjoyable whole class free speaking activity. Here the students sit in a circle and teacher starts to tell a story, but after a few sentences stops narrating the story. Then each student starts to narrate from the point where the previous one stopped. Narration is continued till the last student contributes with a sentence. And this is also another example for storytelling, that is picture narrating. Here, tell the students to get into groups of 5 or 6. Then distribute each group an interesting picture and tell the students to study it. Ask the students to discuss what they think backstory is, who the people are, their activities, their dreams, and anything else that tell a story about them. After the discussion, one of the students from each group can tell the story to the class using their picture. Next one is true-false storytelling. Give each student a piece of paper, either true or false written on it, and tell them not to show the word to the others. They have to keep the paper secretly. Each student should tell the class a story that is true or false, depending on the word they received. And the rest of the class must guess whether the story is true or false. Next one is what happens next. Here, the students are put into groups. They may be in groups of 6, like. Then tell the students that they are going to listen to a story read by the teacher. Then after telling a part of the story, teacher stops at a particular point where students' curiosity develop and asks, what happens next? The students are asked to create the rest of the story with their group members. Students will come up with different ideas where they practice communication, interact with each other, make arguments, concept formation, develop imaginations, and develop their creativity. Then they present the second half of the story created by them to the class. There may be various endings. Now, these are the activities which were used for sharing information in a speaking classroom. The first one is onion circle. Next one, ladder chat. Next, mingle, pair, share. Next one, interview and find someone who. Let's see how to do these activities as well. Onion circle. So this activity is specially used to share their personal information. This is good for a new class when they meet for the first time to share their information. Get the students stand in 2 circles, such as inner circle and outer circle, facing each other, and ensure that everybody has a partner on the other circle. When the teacher gives a signal, they can start sharing their personal information, such as their future plans, favorite places, likes and dislikes, etc. The teacher gives a signal to stop communication, and then they can change their partner. Tell the students in the inner circle to get a step forward and turn to their right when they hear the signal. This activities continue till the students share the ideas with all in the class. This activity also somewhat similar to onion circle, where the students share their information again, which is called ladder chat. Now here, ask the students to stand in 2 lines facing each other. There should be an equal number of students in both lines, ensuring that they have a partner to share information. Tell them that they have to change their partner when a signal is given by the teacher. The students start sharing information about a particular topic, such as the sports meet or the annual trip, or about their favorites. Then the teacher gives a signal and they change the partner and talk with the new one about the same topics. Always the first student of the right line change the place and stand back of the line, and the second one in the line moves forward. The activities continue till they meet all the partners and share information. Now look at this picture. This is how the activity is organized. The students are standing in 2 lines for ladder chat. And the next activity we introduced was mingle, pair, share. So here the students mix around the room silently as the music plays in the background. When the music stops, each student finds a partner. When all students have a partner, teacher asks a question and allows for think time. We have to give enough time for the students to prepare for the answer. For an example, name 3 insects, or else what is the opposite word of small can be given. On the teacher's signal, one partner shares and the other listens. Partners switch roles. One can be the speaker and the other one can be the listener. After both partners have had a chance to speak, the music starts again and students mingle. When music stops, students find a new partner. The teacher poses a new question. Likewise, the activity is continued. And next one is conducting interviews. Here, a teacher provides the questionnaire needed for the interview that is easier. Otherwise, they might have some difficulties of preparing questions. Tell the students that they are going to interview their classmates using the questionnaire provided by the teacher. Ask them to interview many students as possible for maximum interaction and get the information written if needed. After interview, the students can present their study to the class. Conducting interview gives students a chance to practice their speaking ability, not only in class, but also outside. And this is another activity that is very common. Find someone who. So for the preparation, a sheet of questionnaire for the students should be given. The sheet should include a list of activities that people do in day-to-day life. Try to find someone who, at the top of the document, below, write a series of activities that the students will have to check often when they do the discussion task. To begin the activity, everyone must have the sheet. Explain any new vocabulary that is on the sheet. There may be some new words for the students, so the teacher can explain them. The students should stand up and move around the classroom, filling out the chart with names. First, select the first question and ask one of the students in the class. If the answer is yes, write his or her name next to the question. If the answer is no, ask the same question from another student in class. Tell the students to continue the game till they have asked all the questions and complete the chart. So this is the format which is used in this activity. Find someone who watched a movie last night. Likewise, the questions can be formed. And I'll come to this point. The definition of speaking. So the heading is, what is speaking? Speaking is the process of building and sharing meaning through the use of verbal and non-verbal symbols in a variety of context. So in speaking, we use not only the verbal symbols, but also the non-verbal symbols, which is called non-verbal communication. It includes facial expressions, body language, gestures, posture, etc. It is a crucial part in second language teaching. Now, you know, in the classroom, we teach the students all the 4 skills. So this is also one of the significant skills which should be taught for the students. And goal of teaching speaking should improve students' communicative skills. So speaking skills is used to develop their communication, to develop their communicative skills. Without practicing this skill, without learning this skill, the students cannot develop communicative aspect. So let's talk about the speaking strategies which can be used in the classroom. First one, asking for clarification. You can promote the children for asking for clarification when the teacher presents some ideas. So when the teacher is dealing with the lesson, the children can ask questions to get the lesson clarified. And next one, asking a student to repeat something. When the teacher asks any question, we can allow the child, or else we can get the child repeat the particular answer, or the word, or any structure, any sentence, any response like. And using conversation maintenance cues. The teacher can use all these conversation maintenance cues just to show that you are listening to the child. Just like, ha, ha, right, yeah, okay, etc. And getting some attention, you have to show that you are very attentive when the child is speaking. And next one, appealing assistance from the interlocutor. So you have to, the teachers can promote this also, just to expect, ask them to expect the words or the phrases, especially from the teacher. Teacher is known as the interlocutor here, as an assistance for speaking. And also we discussed the common mistakes made by the teachers in that speaking workshop. So the first one is not providing enough input or sufficient vocabulary beforehand. The teachers sometimes miss to give the particular vocabulary for the speaking tasks, so that better to give them first. Then the students use them and speak confidently. And next one, not providing authentic materials. So authentic materials also can be provided. Not maintaining students' performances. So in the classroom, teacher can display the records of their performances. So that is some sort of a motivation. And giving limited opportunity for students to speak target language, and do not involve all students. Sometimes only limited number of students get the opportunity to speak, and the others are ignored. So without our knowledge, this happens. So we reminded the teachers just to manage all these mistakes. And the next one, predicting the words students are about to say. Sometimes the teachers are expecting the responses quickly, but it takes time. When the students are a little late to produce the language, the teachers give the word. So that is another problem. And trying to correct students' pronunciation, grammar, or word choice so often. And these are the suggestions to develop speaking skills. First one is create a purpose for classroom communication. There we ask the teachers to have an interest in topics and talk about them, can hold the discussions, and can brainstorm on the board likewise, and select topics suitable for the learner's proficiency level. When selecting the topic, you can concern about the level of the students. Next one, create a supportive atmosphere and encourage the students in the classroom. There should be a suitable environment for the students for speaking without disturbances, and stress-free atmosphere like. And avoid overcorrection is another thing. Teachers should not correct the errors always, and allow enough time for thinking without expecting the answer, without asking the students to speak at once. We can give them some time to think and speak. And next one, try to involve each student, not only some of the students in the class, the others also can involve in the activities, and the teachers have to think of this aspect, just to involve all the students in the activities. The next point is ask eliciting questions in order to prompt students to speak more. When asking the questions, the teachers can ask eliciting questions. The students should be able to answer quickly, right? Like that, the teachers can think of the questions which are more suitable to ask. And the last point is involve speaking activities, not only in class, but also out of the class. Can organize the activities which can be done not only inside the class, but also outside the class. And also these activities should help even beyond the classroom for the students' communication. Now my presentation is over. Thank you very much for all. Now Ms. Mithila will continue from this point, sharing about assessing speaking.
Okay, at the end of the day, what we wanted our teachers to do was learner reflection. So they started with a lot of presentations, and they made our students practice with a lot of speaking skills, and they also got the introduction from the students. And we convinced our teachers that after all this work, if we do not come to a phase where the learners reflect on what they have done, the work will be very unsuccessful. Therefore, we made sure that our teachers to think of learner reflection as well. So we presented our teachers with 2 questions. Do our learners reflect on their strengths and weaknesses? Are there spaces in the teaching and learning context for learners' self-reflection? So when we discussed these 2 questions, we discovered that many of the teachers had never thought of giving a chance for the learners to reflect on what they had done. So providing the opportunity to reflect on learner experiences is vital to the learning process. By encouraging learners to reflect on the activities they have participated in, they are no longer just focused on the how of their task or activity, but also they are exploring why they are doing it. Therefore, they know their goal, what to achieve, what is the end product that they are going to achieve. So that is very clear to our learners. Reflection is, however, intrinsically linked to metacognition and self-regulation, where there is ample evidence as to their importance to learning. As a result, learners become metacognitive, or in simple terms, they are aware of their internal thinking processes. So the key to unlocking this metacognitive strategy is to equip our learners with the tools to understand, interpret, and act upon feedback. So that's why the following questions are very important. So we have to let our learners to reflect on these questions. What am I good at? What am I interested in? Or what is challenging for me? And what helps me do my best work? So we have to give enough time for our students to think of those things. What is the best thing that I have achieved today? What is very challenging, or what was the most difficult task for me? Which part of the activity that I like the most? And maybe that what helps me to do my best work, maybe that my friends supported me, maybe my teacher's feedback made me more motivated. So the learners will think on those things, and spontaneously, naturally, they will be able to reflect on their potentials and what they have done on that particular day. So our challenge was creating reflection, a learner culture, because the majority of the teachers, actually most of the teachers, they had never thought of implementing this learner reflection activities in their classroom. So after doing this work, their work. So first of all, we had to thought of how to empower our teachers with appropriate techniques and activities to encourage our learners for learner reflection. We have to convince them that they have to make reflection an ongoing process in their classrooms. So therefore, the teachers can convey the importance and purpose of reflection, and we call that it is very formal learning. They can model the process of reflection through a think aloud, and can even have students share their own thoughts with each other in small groups. So we convince them that reflection is not always an individual work. The students, our learners, can do that with pairs, with their partners, or maybe in groups, or else they can think aloud as a whole class activity. So there are different methods, different activities we can introduce them to engage in self-reflections. But in the end, the students' reflection need to be about how they themselves learn. That is called reflective learning. By students reflecting on the process, content, and then the method of their own learning, they can generate appropriate and specific goals before the next learning experience. So they can think of the process. Oh, I did that, but I forgot that. Or I could do this, but I was unable to do that. So with this, maybe they will think that, okay, right, next time I have to improve this part. Next time I will do this part, better than today. So there will be some goals for the students to achieve in their next learning experiences as well. So we had to make some guidelines for optimal reflection in the classroom. So to make reflection activities much easier, the teachers had to be careful that they have to make reflection activities manageable, goal-specific, and time-based. So they should be manageable. Therefore, the teachers have to assign shorter tasks with guidance, even guidelines if needed. And they should be goal-specific. When we present these reflection activities, we have to make sure that we are focusing on the purpose of the reflection. And also it should be time-based. We have to ensure a narrow time lapse between the event and the reflection, otherwise the learners will forget. Number 2 is to provide scaffolding to suit the learner's reflective continuum.
Some learners, we know that they will naturally be more adept than others at engaging in reflection. For those who need some guidance, we can use a few guiding questions like recalling or recapturing, relating, rationalizing, and redirecting. So I think many of the students in the classroom will need them. Therefore, we train our teachers to engage in those, guiding questions as well. So what activities can be done? That was our next challenge. Whatever the activities that we do, they should be creative and motivating. So the first thing that we introduced was to keep a reflective journal. At the end of the program, at the end of the day, maybe that is the speaking only day, or maybe that is the, kind of event that they presented some role plays, whatever it is, at the end of their work, they can be encouraged to write 2 or 3 sentences about how they perform these particular activities. So the teachers were encouraged to make sure that the learners keep a reflective journal. And also, the teachers can display a chart with emojis. So they can create a chart with all the activities that they do. Maybe the first week they are doing a hot seat activity. The second day role plays. The third week it can be the drama activity. So the students, if they have performed them very well, they can draw a smiley face in front of each. And if they are not that happy, they can make another emoji that looks doubtful. So when the emoji chart is going on, the students they themselves can check their personal development as well. And also, the teachers can select the best speaking activity of the week or the best speaking activity of the month. So we can see the popularity of these activities, and in a way, it is a reflection for the teacher's work as well. We can also add active and collaborative reflection approaches. Learners shouldn't be restricted to only working alone for self-reflection, because peers can also help in reflection. The best activities that we introduced was keeping a reflection buddy. That means we assign learners a reflection buddy in the classroom. So this is again a learner whom they can talk with about their work or the progress in class. In doing so, the teachers can adapt this in different ways, like maybe if it is a group work, another member, another buddy, or another student from another group can be the reflection buddy of this particular group. Or else, a same group member can be the reflection buddy. And at the end of the presentation, this buddy will report, okay, we did today in this way, we did this activity in this particular manner, and we did well, or we lacked this much of things, so like that. The reflection buddy will talk about their progress and the drawbacks. Color My Badge was very popular among our teachers. So we are giving them a badge, but there are no colors there. As you can see, I have divided the badge into 4 parts. And for each part, I have given a can-do statement. So if the learner has achieved those statements, they can color that particular part in green color. If they are still struggling with these potentials, they can color that part with yellow. Now, for example, number 1 is, I can speak my part without looking at a paper. That is a big achievement for a child. So if the learner, on that particular day, if that particular learner presented something, spoke something without looking at a paper, that is a great achievement. So he or she can color the first part of the badge with the color green. If the child is still, reading the paper or want the help from this written document, he or she can color the first part in yellow. So like that, so there are can-do statements like I can speak at length without hesitation, or I can work happily in a team. I'm not worried about my mistakes. So according to the learner achievements, they can color the badge and they can fix it in their uniform, and the teacher can question. All right, so you have colored the second part in yellow. Why is that? What's wrong? What happened to you? So like that, we can give a feedback, encourage the learner, and appreciate their work as well. Crumple ball discussion was another. We know the meaning of a crumpled ball because we use this crumple ball game in many of our speaking activities. And in our workshops, we use this crumple ball activity for reflection activity. So what we did was, in those crumple sheets, we encourage our teachers to write some questions that will help the learners to reflect on their performances. For example, what are you proud of yourself for? Or they have to talk about something good happened today, or something bad happened today, or what do you want to improve in the next session? Which activity was the easiest? Or maybe the teacher can extend this particular discussion like which activity was the easiest and why? And which activity was the most difficult and why? So we know what to do with the crumple ball. It can be thrown from one group to another. So when it is thrown to one child, they can remove the first paper and they can read the question given in the first paper and speak about that. And then the ball can be passed to another. So then the child will remove one paper and read the question given there. So this was a very interesting activity among the students as reported by our teachers. And also, we encourage our teachers to introduce wristbands with taglines. So we know that the children would love, the learners would love to wear wristbands. But when they are wearing their wristbands, before that, they had to write something kind of very inspiring note to motivate themselves. So they are making wristbands with papers. So they will cut a strip of paper and they will write some sentence. This line will be their target next week. Maybe like, I will speak more than today. So that will be the tagline. And then they will wear it in their wrist. So I have given some examples. They are very famous taglines like, be the best version of you, anything is possible. But we encourage our students to write something that they are going to achieve next time. So today, they were like a bit of lagging behind that achievement. But next week, they will definitely achieve that. So it's a kind of motivational tagline. So they write their own expectations, their dreams, their targets, and they will wear them in their wrists. So those are the kind of activities that we introduced to our teachers, that at the end of their speaking skills, the programs based on speaking skills, we encourage them to spare a little time for the learner reflections. And the best thing of this part of the session was that the teachers understood that reflection also can be done in using very interesting activities. So at the end of our workshop, I would like to thank everyone who supported us, our teachers and our zonal, DD English, Brunagala Zone, and also our provincial English coordinator, DD English, Madam Himadari, also for supporting us. And friends, I think we have presented our workshop with you. We have shared our ideas with you. And I think it is the time for questioning. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, RESC Kurunagala, for the wonderful workshop at the very beginning of the Virtual Conference 2022. Next, I'm glad to invite Ms. Aruni Piris, English Language Program Coordinator, U.S. Embassy, Colombo, for the session on American English Language Resources. Over to you, Ms. Aruni.
Hello. Hi, can everyone hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Can Chapa allow me to share my screen, please? Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for joining us today. I would like to first thank the Ministry of Education, Nimali Badrulia and her team, National Institute of Education, Dr. Sunil Navaratna, Dr. Darshana Samaravira, Sharp and the entire team there, and everybody who's participating today. Thank you very much for giving me this opportunity to discuss with you, share some of the resources that we offer at the US Embassy. So my presentation is on the online English language resources that we at the US Embassy offer. So again, my name is Aruni Piris. I'm the English Language Program Coordinator at the US Embassy in Colombo. To give you a little background of where all this actually, the resources, where the resources are kind of sent to us, some of the resources. Back in DC, we have an organization called the Bureau of Education and Cultural Affairs. They are the people who create all these resources, the programs, etc. There's also another office called the Office of English Language Programs. We report to them, and they also send us many opportunities that we could share across many countries in Sri Lanka. So some of the programs that we offer, I think my colleague Christy Gilmore spoke about these programs in the morning, but I'll just, since I have a very short time, I will be very brief, but I will just run through some of the programs that we have. So some of you already are aware of these programs. One program is the English Access Micro Scholarship Program, which is for students. The other is the English Language Fellow Program, where we place fellows at institutions. And we have on many occasions placed fellows at the NIE as well. English language specialists who we bring down or virtually engage on special programs, such as creating online programs, etc. Then we have the AE Teacher Scholarships, one such program that I'm going to elaborate on today, and the AE Webinar Series, which is an ongoing program that all teachers can participate, and the MOOCs, massive online courses. Resources. So if any teachers want to access resources, American English website, y'all can actually go, if you can just open a new page and just type American English.state.gov. I'll give you a few minutes, if you a few seconds, if you want to actually access that website right now. There are loads of resources for teachers on that website. There's also the English Teaching Forum, which is also in that website. These are magazines. In the past, we used to actually give these magazines, the actual magazine, but now it's all online, and all the teachers can actually access these forums. It's a very, very good magazine, a lot to learn from. You can actually write to this magazine. If you have a bright idea, you can actually write to the magazine, and they will edit it. And then if it is a really good idea, they will actually publish it. So we also have social media programs and print publications. I will show some of it today. Given the time frame, I will have to be very brief. If you go to americanenglish.state.gov website, let me just. Can you all see the screen? americanenglish.state.gov.
Yes, ma'am, we can see.
Okay, so I would like to encourage all the students to teachers to actually open a new page and type americanenglish.state.gov, because I can actually walk you through this this website, which is going to be very, very useful for you. So there's About Us, Resources and Programs, English Teaching Forum, right? Under Resources, we have all these different programs that we offer for English language teachers. As I mentioned, the webinars are there, music, culture and games, the massive open online courses, Teachers Corner, Comic for Language Learning, which is very interesting because you can actually teach English through comics, and the Online Professional English Network, open courses, right? I'll click on that. And if you all can also please click on that particular page. So this is what you will see. This is the forum that I was speaking to you about, right? Going back to my presentation. Sorry, I need to. These are some of the board games that are there. So under cultural and board games, you can actually see this. It's a fun way of teaching English. You can actually take these printouts and give it to some of the groups of students and ask them to play these games. These are very good resources and very active for active learning resources that are on this website. This is the YouTube resources that we have. And there's also Sing Out Loud, where you can actually print out the lyrics, get the children to sing and learn songs. And there is also the Teachers Corner, where you have different ways of, the fun activities. This is actually an activity which I wanted to do, but given the short time period, I will not be able to do it. But at some point, I hope I can come out there and actually do some of these activities with you. These are the publications and materials that we have online. One specific publication I would like your focus would be to on Activate. It's a very good publication. There are lots of very interactive ways of teaching. I've given some of these copies to some of the teachers. Unfortunately, we didn't get that many, but these are all online, and you can go online and check out these materials. These are the forum magazines that I was speaking to you about. So all the copies for many years, they have uploaded it, and whatever you want. If you want to teach on a particular thing, you can always just search and you will get the relevant articles or lesson plans depending on the topic you require. Right. There's also the Facebook page. So again, you can follow us on the Facebook page, put a like, and then you'll actually get updates on all the things that are being offered out there for teachers. I will focus on what I'm actually going to talk to you about today. It's the online professional development programs. There are 3: Open, AE MOOCs, and AE live webinars. Today, I will actually speak to you a bit more about the open course. Right. So the open course is an 8-week-long course, right?
Excuse me, Ms. Aruni.
Yes.
Teachers cannot visible the screen. Can you please share the screen? Because we can see the PowerPoint presentation only.
Okay, I'm on the PowerPoint right now. Can you see the PowerPoint right now?
Can you do the share screen?
Okay, can you see it?
Mrs. Still, we can see the PowerPoint only.
Okay, I am actually speaking about the PowerPoint right now.
It's okay.
Yeah. Right. So it is about this open course that I'm speaking about. It's there are different courses. As you can see, I have named some of the courses here, which are very interesting. There are several courses, but I'll speak to you about this particular course. It is a 3-week program, and it is completely online. You can log in anytime you want and follow the course. You have to, one advice would be to have a very good internet connection. It is a course that is quite engaging, and you actually will be working with English language trainer from the United States on this course, right? When you complete the course, you will actually get a certificate like this, right? This course is, we get very few nominations each season. Actually, we get about 9 to 10 nominations. So we are very careful in whom we nominate. But this year, with the Ministry of Education, we hope to provide this opportunity to all the RESC teachers out there. RESC staff. I presume some of you may have already completed this course, or some of you are actually following this course. Right. If you want to get nominated for this course, there are a couple of things that you need to criteria that you need to meet. You have to have at least 5 years of teaching experience, be a teacher in the primary or the secondary, in a primary or secondary school. And you have to actually come through the Ministry of Education. You can give your names to the Ministry of Education, Anupa Viraratna, if you would like to be nominated for this course. I've given the dates for the course. So the fall course is already over, and the January course is actually starting in January, but we've already nominated 10 of the RESC members. The spring course is from April 11th to June 6th, and the summer course is from July 11th to September 5th. after you get nominated, when we nominate you, you actually get an email stating that you need to register for the course. You get 4 weeks to schedule, register for this course. So it is a program that is facilitated. It's a facilitated teacher training. As mentioned here, I'm sorry, I won't be able to speak too much about all the other programs that we offer. But this is a program that you can follow where you get an instructor, and you will also get the opportunity to engage, and you have to submit assignments, which is very important because within those 3 weeks, you have to be very much engaged in the program. You have to allocate at least 8 hours per week to submit assignments and follow the program. One of the biggest challenges our local teachers have is connectivity. The fact that they are nominated during one season and the program starts in the next, and things could change personally and otherwise. When such instances occur, I would most definitely encourage you to reach out to the US Embassy or to myself if you have challenges such as that. So this is another program that we have, an Open English, the online programs. These are webinars that have been offered in the past. And when you follow these webinars, out of 6, if you follow 4 webinars, you actually get a certificate and an online badge. Even for the open course, you get an online badge. Right. I would like to open for questions if any one of you have any questions to ask. Does anyone have any questions to ask? Can I actually invite Shadia, one of the past teachers, to Shadia, do you have access to, are you unmuted?
Yes. Yeah.
Super. So I'll invite Shadia to give say a few words because she has actually completed the course and successfully, I would say, completed the course and probably got 100 marks because you need to at least get 80 marks to complete the course and receive the certificate. Shadia?
Thank you, Ms. Aruni, for inviting me to speak a few words on my, based on my experience I've gained from the open course. Good afternoon, all. Hope you all are doing great. Am I audible?
Yes, you are. We can hear you.
So first, let me give an intro about myself. I am Rafahat Shadia, an English teacher at Putlam Zahiran National College. Currently, I'm working in Oman as an academic coordinator plus a lecturer in Muscat campus. The online professional English network program, it offers many professional development opportunities like Ms. Aruni said. So I was able to do 2 various courses from MOOC. So they are, one is using educational technology in the English language classroom. And the other one is the professional development for teacher training programs. So I was able to incorporate some pedagogical skills with the new technology in enhancing my language teaching as well as my learning. And also I was able to create new learning activities in my school. Then again, I also did my thesis based on this course, which was digital storytelling technique to enhance the speaking competence of grade 9 students. I did that in my school. It was really very helpful because I gained so much knowledge from that course. And the second one is the professional development for teacher trainers. That is the second one. From that, I developed many skills and knowledge for delivering comprehensive teacher trainings. I've been conducting teacher trainings as well as some orientation sessions from the knowledge I got from the course. To be honest, those two were really amazing and really helped a lot in my teaching career. It barely took me 5 or 6 months to finish off the course. The advantage in the sense, I would say, they are completely free. The lessons are designed with current methods and issues of from in this ESL field. And also, I think that is an important thing for a teacher who explores a lot and find innovative ways to teach in the classrooms, right? And all the learning activities are asynchronous, which is we can learn on our own schedule, right? And the materials are open to the participants anytime, anywhere, throughout the whole process, and it's on Canvas LMS, Learning Management System. Also, the course materials, they are downloadable, which includes some videos, includes PDFs, right? So we can watch over and over again whenever necessary. Also, immediate feedbacks will also be given. We can make our own international network with US educational experts, right? So these are something which I benefited from this course. What else do I have to say? So based on your interest and applications, you can go for the courses. You will highly appreciate yourselves once you apply these kind of techniques into your lessons. So best of luck. Thank you, Ms. Aruni.
Thank you very much, Shadia. Thank you very much. Right. If you all have any questions, please do reach out to me. I will share my email address with you. That is my email address, pdsa@state.gov. If you have any questions about the other resources that we have online, feel free to write to me, and I'll be more than happy to share and give you more information on all the resources that we have to offer at the US Embassy in Colombo. Again, I would like to thank everyone for participating in this presentation. Again, my apologies for the rush because I have a very short time, but I would like to thank the NIE and the RESC for providing this opportunity to me. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ms. Aruni Perez, English Language Program Coordinator, US Embassy, Colombo, on the remarkable session on American English Language Resources. It's a really fruitful session and also a very good opportunity to the teachers of English Sri Lanka. Thank you, Ms. Aruni. May I request the apologies for the inconvenience that occurred at the digital poster presentation. Extremely sorry for that. And now the RESC's Polonnaruwa, Kegal, and Kurunagala are on the platform.
Question: least attended by the students at the O-level examination. It's because students are not properly trained on how to construct an essay or a speech. Actually, in this presentation, we are showing how we can use concept mapping to organize the ideas for an essay topic. And we are giving some sort of scaffolding to the students with the topic sentence, supporting details, and also some vocabulary to be used, which is optional. As an example, in this concept map, we are developing an essay topic taken from 2018 paper. The topic of the essay is sports as an important part of a student's life. We have divided the essay into three parts, which are introductory paragraph, body, and the conclusion, colored in yellow on this poster. For the construction of the introductory paragraph, we are giving a thesis statement and supporting details and also some suggested vocabulary to be used if necessary. We are doing the same thing with the conclusion. Then the body, the main part of the essay, is developed under the given guidelines for the essay topic. The three guidelines are given in green color boxes on the poster. The white color boxes contain the topic sentence and supportive details for each of the paragraph of the essay. The teacher has freedom to expand this map, providing more vocabulary to scaffold the students depending on the level of the students. Thank you.
Hello everyone. This is the poster presented by RESC Goal for 24th National RESC Conference and 9th National Conference on Language Assessment 2022. The theme of conference is mitigating the effects of learning loss due to learning loss, role of ESL teachers. In our race, there are two members who are Mr. P.R.M. Gunaratna, the coordinator, and Ms. H.S.M. Ovitigama, the teacher in charge. The topic of our poster is Emerging Technologies and Applications for Literature Learning. We have to consider four major aspects in learning literature with technology. They are the students, the facilitator, the content, and the technology. With relevant to students, we have to consider their different learning styles, skill of technology, and availability to access technology. The facilitator can be a teacher or a guide, and they should possess the skill of technology. On the other hand, content should enhance the cognitive level of the students. Moreover, poetry, drama, prose, novels, and criticisms can be included in the content. The students are able to gain this content via computer, laptop, smartphone, tablet, radio, cassette player, multimedia, web and online platforms, and social media. Let's discuss how technology can enhance learning literature. It provides multiple material types for all the learning styles. and it enhances communication between teacher and students as well as students and students. It promotes constructive and active learning, and it enhances collaborative teaching and learning. Further, it provides asynchronous and synchronous communication. Moreover, it promotes higher expectations via peer review and feedback. It enhances strong group collaboration, and it promotes and fosters lifelong learning. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Although teaching literature online is a challenge, a smart teacher can make it a privilege. Since the schools were closed, the teachers used Zoom, MS Teams or a smart teacher can make it a privilege. Since the Although teaching literature online is a challenge, a smart teacher can make it a privilege. Since the schools were closed, the teachers used Zoom, MS Teams or Google Meet as teaching platforms. These platforms consist of a variety of pedagogical tools to support teaching and learning process. The basic pedagogical tool a teacher can use is PowerPoint. Apart from that, a teacher can use video clips based on plays, films, historical setting, biographical information about authors related to literary texts. A teacher can also exploit audio clips that contain speeches, poetry recital, storytelling related to prescribed literary texts. The involvement of the learner can be tactfully enhanced through annotation, brainstorm through chat box and reaction, which support the lower order thinking. Higher order learning skills can be achieved through concept maps and analytical writing with the help of pedagogical technological tools like breakout rooms, Padlet, Answer Garden, Wheel of Names and Word Wall. Feedback was the major challenge during pandemic. Yet, instant feedback can be taken through reactions, chat box and annotation. Analytical writing of the students can be displayed and corrected on Padlet through mail and recorded feedback on WhatsApp. It's a novel experience. Yet, if the teacher is smart, she can create a smart, synchronous classroom where real learning and teaching takes place.
Thank you very much to all the RESCs who supported for the digital poster presentation, which added the color to the virtual conference. Congratulations for the winners of the digital poster presentation, RESC team from Anuradhapura. RESC team from Gampaha. RESC team from Hatton. With that, we are going to officially end the conference proceedings for the first day. So now, since the next item in the agenda, that is the RESC General Meeting 2022, which applies only to the RESC members. All the other participants can leave the virtual platform and will be meeting at 8 o'clock tomorrow for the day 2 of the conference. Now, I would like to invite the President, the Secretary, and the committee members of RESC to commence the General Meeting 2022. Over to the President of RESC.
Thank you. Sorry. Yes, we have to wait until the other members, other participants leave. We have to make sure that only the RESC staff members are here, only the RESC staff members, because this is only for the RESC members. Others, thank you very much for joining. Can leave now. I think still there are some here who have